Carnatic Hindustani Music Circle of New England is a grassroots non-profit Indian classical music organization. It was formed with the express purpose of promoting and providing, in an up-close and personal chamber setting, a platform for seasoned musicians and budding talent in Hindustani and Carnatic music genres. By hosting both these styles of music in a single forum, KHMC has, for the last 25 years, successfully drawn a broad spectrum of artists and audiences together through education and understanding of the two forms. KHMC is made possible by many host families who graciously open their homes for the concerts, by the terrific teachers in New England, and of course the artists. It is fully run by volunteers and a board who welcome tax-deductible donations to help support the organization. Do connect with us on our Facebook page at KHMC New England and on our YouTube channel at KHMC Concerts. We look forward to seeing you at one of our concerts.
Our first program for the evening is a Carnatic vocal recital by Sriram Krishnamoorthy. Sriram studied Carnatic music for 10 years under the tutelage of Srimati Aparna Balaji, director of the Abhyas School of Music, and has performed in many group and solo recitals over the years as part of Abhyas. He is currently continuing his advanced training under Sri Karthik in the Vidya Subramanian Academy of Carnatic Music and Arts. In addition to Carnatic music, Sriram's interests include playing classical Western violin, drawing and painting, robotics, and tutoring and mentoring in STEM activities. He is a freshman in computer engineering in the Honors College at University of Massachusetts Lowell. Welcome, Sriram, and over to you.
Namaskaram, everybody. I'll be singing 5 items for this evening. So the first item is a Varnam in Saranga. It is composed by Tiruvotrir Tyagayar and it's set to Aditanam. Sami sentage rinannu kava pantamela shridya yesa sarini sadani padani da pama parigama risa pama darigama pa dani sagari sani re sani sada pama padani sari sada papa mari kama padani ginta modi seyani kidi mera kadu sami sentageri nannu kava pantamela shrityage sa sarini sadani padani da pama parigama riza pama dani gama pa dani sagari sani ri sani sada pama padani sari sada papa mari gama padani in ta Pagadari bodhana vini pagadari bodhana vini pama ri ga ma ri ri sa ri sa pama da pama ri ga ma pa ga da ri bo tan vini pa ga da ri bo tan vini pama ri ga ma ri ri sa ri sa pama da pama ri ga ma pa ga da ri bo dan vini pama ri ga ma ri ri sa ri sa pama da pama ri ga ma pa ga da ri bo dan vini pada pama pama ri gama padi gama pama da pama pada ni sada pama ri gama pagada ri bodan vini pagada ri bodan vini pada pama pama ri gama padi gama pama da pama pada ni sada pama ri gama pagada ri bodan vini pada pama pama ri gama padi gama pama da pama pada ni sada pama ri gama pagada ri bodan vini da pada ma padi gama ri ni ri sa pa sa pama da pa ni da pama ri gama pa ni sa ri gama pa ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pama ri gama pa ga ri bodan vini da pa da ma pa ri gama ri ni ri sa pa sa pa ma da pa ni da pa ma ri gama pa ni sa ri gama pa ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ri gama pa ga ri bodan vini da pa da ma pa ri gama ri ni ri sa pa sa pa ma da ni da pa ma ri gama pa ni sa ri gama pa ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ri gama pa ga ri bodan vini pa ga The next item is Mooladhara Murti. It's in the ragam Hamsadwani and it's composed by Papanasam Shiva. It's set to Aditam. Mooladhara Murti, Mooladhara Murti, Gajamukhane Sharanam Unad Upaya Charanam Mooladhara Murti 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 கஜமுகனே சரணம் உனது உபய சரணம் மூலாதார மூர்த்தி கஜமுகனே சரணம் உனது உபய சரணம் மூலாதார மூர்த்தி வேலாயுத வேலாயுத குஹந்தனக்கு முன் தோன்றிய வேலாயுத குஹந்தனக்கு முன் தோன்றிய வேலாயுத குஹந்தனக்கு முன் தோன்றிய விமல்ல உமாயார் தருமகனை அமல்ல யமயான் முனிவர் தொழும் மூலாதார மூர்த்தி வேலாயுத குஹந்தனக்கு முன் தோன்றிய வேலாயுத குஹந்தனக்கு முன் தோன்றிய விமல்ல உமாயார் தருமகனை அமல்ல யமயான் முனிவர் தொழும் மூலாதார மூர்த்தி கஜமுகனே சரணம் உனது உபய சரணம் மூலாதார மூர்த்தி அன்புடன் துன்பையருகம் பொல்லை எடுத்தருஜனை சேதாலும் போதும் அன்புடன் துன்பையருகம் பொல்லை எடுத்தருஜனை சேதாலும் போதும் அன்பர் துன்பம் துடைத்து பெரின்பம் தரும் வரத துன்பம் துடைத்து பெரின்பம் தரும் வரத துணை பூரி பிரணவாகார கணபதியே துன்பம் துடைத்து பெரின்பம் தரும் வரத துணை பூரி பிரணவாகார கணபதியே மூலாதார மூர்த்தி கஜமுகனே சரணம் உனது உபய சரணம் மூலாதார மூர்த்தி This next item is Sarasara Samareka. It's in the ragam Kuntala Brahmi and is composed by Tyagaraja. It's set to Altar. Sara Sara Samareka Sura Saradi Madhavidara 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 sara sara samarik sugura saradi madhavidara Suradi Pumula Suradi Pumula Suradi Pumula Suradi Pumula Balamanudura Kidula Kanala Samamau Sriram Suradi Pumula Balamanudura Kidula Kanala Samamau Sriram Sara Sara Samadrika Sugura Saradi Madhavidara Sara Sara Samadrika Sugura Saradi Madhavidara Toli jesina papavana kutarama Kalanai nanu seyakaleni Toli jesina papavana kutarama Kalanai nanu seyakaleni Palubinu bijichi Anubilunu birichi Anubilunu birichi Anubilunu birichi Velasena Shri Raghukulavara Brogomu Tyagarajanuta Anubilunu birichi Velasena Shri Raghukulavara Brogomu Tyagarajanuta Sara Sara Samadrika Sura Saradi Madhavidara Sara Sara Samadrika Sura Saradi Madhavidara This next item is Mama Vasudha Varade. It's in the ragam Natakurunji and is composed by Swati Tuna. It's set to Rupakatana. Tadarina Tadarina Tadadina ಶ್ಯಾಮಲಗಿರಿ ಉಳಿಶೇ ಅಂಬ ಶ್ಯಾಮಲಗಿರಿ ಉಳಿಶೇ ಅಂಬ ಶ್ಯಾಮಲಗಿರಿ ಉಳಿಶೇ ಅಂಬ ಶ್ಯಾಮಲಗಿರಿ ಉಳಿಶೇ ಅಂಬ ಶ್ಯಾಮಲಗಿರಿ Ulishe amba mama ridiva sanisham shamalagiri. Ulishe amba mama ridiva sanisham shamalagiri. Ulishe amba mama ridiva sanisham shamalagiri. Ulishe amba mama divasanijam mama vasa varade mahishasura sudani ambamma mavasada varade Lalita Manihara Lalita Manihara Sunalite Mapahi Sada Lalita Manihara Sunalite Mapahi Sada Lalita Manihara Sunalite mapayi sadalalita manihara. Sulalite mapayi sadalalita manihara. Sulalite mapayi sadalalita manihara. Sulalite mampayi sada lalita manihara. Lalita manihara. Sulalite mampayi sada 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 lalita manihara. Magasari galalita manihara. Nida magasari galalita manihara. Magama magama dhamada nida magar. Nida magasari ga nida magalalita manihara. Nida nida madda nida nida dhamma dhamani dhamma dhammaga pagama gazari gama nida magama sani dhamma risa nida sa nida mani dhamma samagya sanida nisarika Mada maga sari gama maga sari galalita manihara. sari sani sari sari ga ma ga sari ga ma ga pa ga ri sani da ni sari sani da ma da ni sa ma ga pa ga ri sa ma ga ma ni da ni pa da ni sa sa sari sari ga ma ga pa ga ri ga ma ga sa ni da ma sa ni da ma ga lalita ma sa da ni da ma ga sa ri ga lalita ma ni da ni sa ni da ma ga sa ri ga ni da ma ga sa ri ga lalita ma sama ga ma da ni da ma ga ma ni da ni pa da ni sa ni da ma ga sa ri ga lalita ma ma ga sa ri ga ma sa sa ri ga ma ni da ma sa ni da ma ni sa ni da sa ni ma ni da ga ma ga sa ri ga ma ni da ma ga pa ga ri ri ma ga pa ga ri sa 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 ma ga sa ni da ma ga sa ni da ma ga ga sa ri ga ma la ni ta ma ni da ma ga ma da da ni sa ni da ma da ni da ma da ni da ma ga ma da ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ma ga da ma ni da ni pa da ni sa ri sa 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 ri sa ri sa ri sa ri sa ri sa ri sa ni ri sa ni da ma ga ri sa ni da ma ga sa ni da ma ga ri sa ni da ma ga sa ni da ma ga ni da ma ga ma ga sa ri ga ma ga ri ga ma ga sa ri ga ma ga pa ga ri ga sa sa ma ga ma ni da ni pa da ni sa ni da ni sa sa da ni ri sa ri ga ma ga sa ni da ni sa ri ga ma ga sa ri ma ga sa ni da ri sa ni da ma ga la li ta ma da ni sa ni da ma ga ma da ni ma ni da ma da ma ga ma ga sa ga sa ni sa ga ni ma ga ni da ma ga sa ri ga ma ni da ma sa ni da ni sa ri ga ma ri sa ni da ni sa ma ga sa ni ri sa ni da sa ni da ma ga ga ma da ni sa ga ma da ni sa ga ma da ni sa ma da ni sa ri ma da ni sa ri ma da ni sa ri da ni sa ri ga ma da ma ga ba ga ri sa ni da ni da ma ba ga ri ma ga sa ri ga ma ga sa ri ga ma ga sa ri ga la li ta ma ni ma ga ba ga ri sa 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 ma ga ba ga ri sa ni da ma ga ba ga ri sa ni da ma ga ba ga ri sa ni sa ni sa ni da ni da ma sa ni da ma da ma ga ba ga ri sa ma ga ma ni pa da ni sa ri ga ri sa ri sa ri sa ri ga ma ba ga ri sa ri ga ma ga ba ga ri sa ma ga ba ga ri sa ga ri sa ni ri sa ni da sa ni da ma ga sa ma ga da ma ni pa da ni sa ri ga ma ga sa ni da ma ga sa ni da ma sa ni da ma ga sa ri ga ma da ni sa ri ga ma ni da ma da ni sa ni ma ga sa ni da ma ga sa ni da ma ga sa ri ga la li ta ma ni Sulalite mam pahi sada jala janaba Sodari amba jala janaba Sodari amba jala janaba Sodari amba jala janaba Sodari amba nalinayatane jala janaba Sodari ambarali nayatane jala janaba Sodari ambarali nayatane सदा वरदे महिषासुरसूदनि अम्बा सदा वरदे The last item I will be singing is Kunriladam Kumara. It's in their album Real Gupti, and it's a special composition because it's composed by my grandmother, Dr. Tangam Parameshwaran. It's set to Algana. Kunriladam Kumara, Kunriladam Kumara, அழகிய குன்றில்லாடும் குமரா, அழகிய குன்றில்லாடும் குமரா, அழகிய நீலவண்ண கோலமயிலேறி வாராயோ, எந்தன் முறையே கேளாயோ, குன்றில்லாடும் குமரா, அழகிய நீலவண்ண கோலமயிலேறி வாராயோ, எந்தன் முறையே கேளாயோ, குன்றில்லாடும் குமரா, அழகிய நீலவண்ண கோலமயிலேறி வாராயோ, எந்தன் முறையே கேளாயோ, குன்றில்லாடும் குமரா, அழகிய நீலவண்ண கோலமயிலேறி வாராயோ, எந்தன் முறையே கேளாயோ, குன்றில்லாடும் குமரா, அழகிய நீலவண்ண கோலமயிலேறி வாராயோ, எந்தன் முறையே கேளாயோ, கேளாயோ. அருமுக வேலவா, அருமுக வேலவா, அருமுக வேலவா, அருமுக வேலவா, அருமுக வேலவா, அருமுக வேலவா, ஆதரபலி பவ, அருமுக வேலவா, ஆதரபலி பவ, அருமுக வேலவா, ஆதரபலி பவ, ஐங்கர சோதர சம்பு குமார சரவண பவகுவ ஷண்முகநாத, ஐங்கர சோதர சம்பு குமார சரவண பவகுவ ஷண்முகநாத, குன்றில்லாடும் குமரா, அழகிய நீலவண்ண கோலமயிலேறி வாராயோ, எந்தன் முறையே கேளாயோ, கேளாயோ. ஈதுலகினிலே இது கண்பருங்கள், எங்கள் துணைவன் நீ என்றோ, ஈதுலகினிலே இது கண்பருங்கள், எங்கள் துணைவன் நீ என்றோ, மனப்பினி நீக்கிடும் மறைகள் போற்றிடும் மார்கபந்துவும் நீ என்றோ, மனப்பினி நீக்கிடும் மறைகள் போற்றிடும் மார்கபந்துவும் நீ என்றோ, தந்தைக்குபதேசம் 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 செய்த குரு பர தந்தைக்குபதேசம் செய்த குரு பர தந்தைக்குபதேசம் செய்த குரு பர கலியுக வரத கௌரி தனயா வந்தருளாயோ வள்ளிமனான கலியுக வரத கௌரி தனயா வந்தருளாயோ வள்ளிமனான குன்றில்லாடும் குமரா அழகிய நீலவண்ண கோலமயிலேறி வாராயோ எந்தன் முறையே ஏலாயோ குன்றில்லாடும் குமரா அழகிய நீலவண்ண கோலமயிலேறி வாராயோ எந்தன் முறையே கேளாயோ கேளாயோ ஓ Thank you, KHMC, for this opportunity to sing, and thank you to the audience for taking the time to listen to me. Back to you, KHMC.
Thank you for the wonderful performance, Sriram. Our next session is titled Remembering the Life of Pandit Bhimsen Joshi Through His Music by Srimati Shuchita Rao. Srimati Shuchita Rao will lead a guided listening session of Pandit Ji's music and its intricacies to begin his centenary year. Shuchita Ji is a Boston-based Hindustani vocalist and educator. She has sung and given lecture demonstrations at music conferences, conducted music workshops for educators at schools, colleges, and universities in New England. Shuchita Ji freelances on Indian music and the arts for reputed performing arts magazine Shruti, ethnic newspapers, and magazines such as Lokvani and Khabar. She considers herself to be a lifelong student of music and journalism. Over to you, Shuchita Ji.
Thank you very much, Shiva. It's a privilege for me to give a little presentation about the life and music of Bharat Ratna Pandit Bhimsen Joshi ji. So Pandit Bhimsen Joshi ji, as we know, is a very, very important figure in the field of Hindustani music. In fact, he is referred to as like the Bhishma Pitama or the Tansen of modern Hindustani music. So first what I will do is talk a little about his biographical details, a little bit about his life, and then we will listen to a recording of one of the ragas of an LP that was released several years back featuring rag Sur Malhar. So let's first talk about Panditji's life. So this actually on February 4th, on February 5th, this past 25 days back, he would have begun his 100th year had he been alive. He was born on February 4th, 1922, and he passed away when he was 88 years old, about 10 years, 11 years back. And in this lifetime, he really contributed so much to the field of Hindustani music. He was born in a place called Gadag, which is a little village near Dharwad in Karnataka, India. And since his childhood, he was extremely fond of music. In fact, apparently he used to follow music processions, and he used to get lost and sometimes forget where his home was. And his father, he put a sign on his t-shirt saying, um, Teacher Joshi ji's son, so that if somebody found him after a music procession, if he was lost somewhere, they would return him to the home. So his heart was completely in music, and he would often skip lessons in school. And he used to go to this tea shop where the tea shop owner used to put a disc of Abdul Karim Khan Sahib, Kirana Gharana exponent, the founder of Kirana Gharana, singing a thumri. And little Bhimsen Joshi would completely lose himself in that, listening to that thumri. So he listened very keenly, absorbed the nuances. His father was a Sanskrit scholar, and there was emphasis on education in his house. There were some differences, between him and his father, and the child's heart was completely in music. So at the age of 11, he actually, in search for a guru, he left home. He ran away from home. And he went to Gwalior, where Hafiz Ali Khan Sahib was there, just to learn a little bit of music. Gwalior was a center of music in those times. And then from Gwalior, he went to Kolkata to again find a guru to try to learn music. From Kolkata, he went to Jalandhar in Punjab, and he was, listening to performances, working as a menial servant in the homes of people. In Kolkata, he worked as a servant in somebody's house, but would listen very keenly to all the music that was around him. And somebody in Jalandhar, Punjab, suggested, it was actually Vinayak Rao Patwardhan, a great doyen of Hindustani music, who said, you really should go back to Karnataka, because Ustad Abdul Karim Khan Sahib's prime disciple, Savai Gandharv, is in Kundgol, Karnataka. So it may be a good place for you to go back and learn music. It is said that Pandit Bhimsen Joshi's father found him and brought him back to Karnataka. And then from 1936 to 1941, 4 or 5 years, he studied music with Savai Gandharv, whose real name was Rambhau Kundgolkar. Kundgol is a small town outskirts of the Dharwad Hubli area. And Bhimsen Joshi ji lived in his house, and in Guru Shishya Parampara learned, all the intricacies of Hindustani music. It is said that his teacher was a taskmaster, and he used to practice so hard, like in the late night, till the wick of the kerosene lamp ran out. Till then he had to practice music. So and of course it paid off later, that type of sadhana, that type of riyaz, that type of commitment to learning music and to practicing it, definitely, made music so much a part of Pandit Bhimsen Joshi's persona that later sometimes, I heard an interview where his son would say that his dad, even though he may be physically present in situations in a room, the mind was always in music. Always in music. So, Pandit Bhimsen Joshi then became an exponent of the Kirana style of Hindustani music, and he became a great master of the Khyal genre of Hindustani music. But he was also very attracted to the Thumri genre and the Tarana genre of Hindustani music. He also sang a lot of abhangs, bhajans, devotional music in Kannada, in Marathi, in Hindi. Great saint poets like Purandaradasa's poems composed in Kannada, they were composed in Hindustani ragas. And there was a quality of Pandit Bhimsen Joshi's music. It transcended, religion, language, race, ethnicity. It had this wonderful appeal. So, for example, even if I didn't understand Kannada, his very famous bhajan, Sada Enna Hridayadalli. Sada Enna Hridayadalli Vasamadu Shri Hari. Sada Enna Hridayadalli. this Purandaradasa Pada, the bhajan, was a part of homes in Karnataka. You know, Bhimsen Joshi's music brought that classical flavor, the devotion in Hindustani music into homes like streets, barber shops, restaurants. They played Pandit Bhimsen Joshi's music because it had that wonderful appeal. He went on to, of course, win a lot of awards, Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan. He was decorated with Bharat Ratna, which is the highest civilian award in India. So he was decorated with that award in 2008. He also won, the Tansen Award. Lots of awards he won. And what was remarkable, I just wanted to talk a little about his, the quality of his music. First of all, such a resonant voice, that nad, extremely melodious and strong, robust. So that's the first attractive quality of Panditji's music. And then he had formidable technique. He mastered so many different types of ornaments in Hindustani music. Meend is a glide. Sa, sa, sa. If you connect two notes with a glide, that's a meend. Or murki. Or, gamak. This is gamak. There are these movements which are very fast melodic movements. They are called tans in Hindustani music, and they are very, they are presented in the khyal, in the tarana, and in the tappa forms of Hindustani music. And he was such a master of those tans. He could sing them strong tans which spanned all three, octaves of music. And very fast tempo, like lightning, those type of heavy gamak tans, straight tans. He was such a master of his tans and that fantastic vocal range, and of course his creative genius, the way he looked at ragas, the way he connected with the tanpura sounds, with his accompanists. It created a whole ambience. Within minutes, anybody could get into the music of Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. That sound that he created with the tanpuras playing behind him, his opening note, the way he opened the khyal, within minutes how he created the rasa. He knew how to create that, rasa in raga. And within minutes, people were transported with his music into higher realm. So that was the quality of his music. One more interesting thing about his music was that he used to move his head quite a bit, and there were these bodily movements. They were all in sync with his music. Hand gestures. His hand went up if he were trying to get a note up high, or he went low, completely connecting, with where the music was moving. So that was the quality of his music, and very, very fluid, his renditions. So with that, I also, before I move on to describing the song that, I will be playing for you today, and sort of walking you through, what is happening in this piece, I just wanted to give you an idea about Rag Sur Malhar. I will be playing a clip for you in Rag Sur Malhar. So Rag Sur Malhar, it goes up ni sa re ma pa ni sa sa ni dha ma pa ni da pa ma re ni sa re ma pa ni da pa. This is the identifying phrase of Sur Malhar. Ma pa ni da pa ma re. And the Malhar comes in here. Mare ni 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 sa Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, in the clip that I will play for you, is singing first Khyal in a very slow tempo, 12 beat cycle, ek tal. And then he moves on to a teen tal khyal, a faster tempo teen tal khyal. And in both compositions, what is being described in the Hindi language is how the clouds are getting together in the sky from all four sides, how the clouds are coming into the sky and how it is going to rain. So the word is garjat aaye, badarva suhave, chahu dish se at dar pave. So from four sides all the clouds are coming and I am getting scared because there's heavy thunder sound coming in and it's going to pour any minute. And in the Drut Khyal, which is at a faster pace, badarva barsan ko aaye. Again, the clouds are here and they're going to rain. Nanhi nanhi boondan garjat barasat chahu or se bijuri chamakat. Little droplets are falling of rain. And soon, there will be lightning all around. Bijuri chamakat. Badarva barsan ko aaye. That's the second part of the khyal. So I will now turn over, to this guided listening session of Rag Sur Malhar, the two khyals. The first one in a very slow tempo, but it's not really slow. This was another quality of Pandit Bhimsen Ji's music, and that was that the tal was tight. It was very crisp. It wasn't like really slow, so you'd fall asleep. Pretty tight and crisp, pace. So you will notice that about the 12-beat cycle now, and I will now share for you Badarva Barsan ko, the first Vilambit Khyal, which is Garajata Aaye.
Bye.
So this was the alap portion. This was the alap portion of the khyal, and in this he was using I don't know, can you hear me? I was just sharing the first part was the alap portion, and he used the words garajat I to use to do bol alap. So basically he was using the words, and this mare pa, this is how you build malhar and bring in malhar into the sur malhar raga. And this raga also moves a lot in the upper octave, uttarang pradhan. So you saw that happen where he was moving a lot in the upper register. He will continue to do a little more alap here, using sometimes words, sometimes akar, a sound, and then he will bring in tans, which are very fast melodic riffs. He will integrate a little of tan, a little of alap, a little bit of bol alap to bring them all together. So I'm sharing that piece again back. So if you noticed, he was using malhar constructs between, and then ma re re ma re pa ma pa ni da pa, the sur malhar signature phrase, pa ma re ni, malhar in the lower octave, ni sa re ma pa ni. This is the Brindavani part going up. I'm going to advance it to the tan sections here in the interest of time. So here. I just want to make sure, Uma, are you able to hear the recording? Okay, let me.
So Shuchita,
Yes.
the recording was audible, but it went down a little bit. I think because you were not sharing the screen and doing the share audio. It was coming through the open mic.
Okay. Those were the tans, and they were, going up in the upper octave, and they were going from the bottom all the way up. In fact, they were so strong and powerful that the harmonium accompanist simply had to put a sa per sa, because shadowing was so difficult, because they were so powerful, the tans. I am going to move to the chota khyal. Again, it's creating such an ambience of clouds that are gathering, and it's about to rain.
कोयलिया कूका सुनत मूका उठत छचिया कटत कलन परत पिया बिन पिया 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 करत भाद्रवा बरसन भाद्रवा बरसन भाद्रवा बरसन लागरी बरस बरसन बरसन बरस भाद्रवा बरसन लागरी nani bundan ni nani 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 bundan garaja garaj jamu aad bidal tamakat badr babar tan la Badruva Bharatana, Badruva Bharatana,
I hope you enjoyed listening to Sur Malhar by Pandit Bhimsen Joshi as much as I did. You could just lose yourself completely in that beautiful music and feel the clouds coming all around you, the rain coming down, the lightning everywhere around, those powerful tans that were spanning all three octaves, the gamaks, the gamak tans, so powerful, so beautiful. So that was the quality of Panditji's music, and equally powerful were his devotional renditions of abhangs and bhajans. He also sang for a few films, and in Kannada, in Marathi, and Hindi, and also won, an award, a national award for his film singing for the movie Ankahi, Hindi movie Ankahi. Many of his records went platinum, and he released, I think more than 100 LPs and records. Thumri, Tarana, Khyal, Bhajan, Abhang, Natya Sangeet, and that was his specialty. Not so much Drupad, but more of Khyal, Tarana and Thumri. That was more his specialty. So he also, began organizing the Savai Gandharv festival in Pune, which is a very, very large-scale classical music festival, which is free for people who attend it, and it is multi-day festival which attracts the topmost names in Hindustani music. And I have had the pleasure and privilege of attending Savai Gandharv festival and listening to some of our greatest Hindustani musicians sing over there in front of large audiences, all thanks to Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, that the Savai Gandharv festival brought Indian classical music, Hindustani classical music, closer to our hearts, closer to man. And with that, I remember Panditji's contributions very much and thank him for all his hard work in bringing the very best of Hindustani music to the hearts of music lovers and connoisseurs alike. Thank you, and back to KHMC.
Thank you for that enlightening session, Srimati Shuchita ji. I guess every time we listen to such great masters, we find new gems and new intricacies in their music. And your session today threw so much light on this Sur Malhar. We look forward to having many sessions like that. With that, our program concludes today. We look forward to having you next week. Suswagatam.